Welcome to the cutting board. I'm David Zick. Food is about bold flavors, especially plant-based food. A plant-based diet needs you to take the maximum amount of flavor that you can get out of the most simple ingredients that we have. Today, I'm going to teach you how to make a base sauce, which is absolutely versatile and you can use in so many different dishes. I'm going to give you a couple different ways that we're actually going to use this today. But the thing to understand, first of all, is that if you can get a dish that is easy to change into something that you like, that means that you're going to be able to take that dish and make it your own. That's what we want to do today. But the base ingredients for this dish are super simple. In fact, a lot of people call this a vegan cheese sauce, golden sauce, or awesome sauce, whatever you want to call it. But what you need to do is, first of all, get your potatoes. So I've got some potatoes here. That's going to be the base. You're going to cut up some potatoes for your base. You don't want to make the pieces too small, otherwise when you boil them, you're going to lose a lot of the content that's going to make it creamy later on. So you want smaller pieces. We're going to use a cup today of potatoes. I kept them in water here so that they would not get brown on me. I don't want that color here. I'm going to put these in about a cup, like I said, and it's about portions. So whatever you do here, you can just portion it out a little bit more to what you want. We're not going to be making much today. We're just going to do 1 cup of potatoes. So for every cup of potatoes that you use half as much carrots in that same meal for the golden sauce. So we're going to do 1 cup of potatoes in small cubes here, not too small. And don't worry about how much you're actually going to make, because the water is also going to be proportional. So we've got a cup here, and we're going to take the carrot. We're going to do the same thing. We want pieces that are kind of small. We don't want to wait forever for these things to get soft while we're cooking them. We're going to get a little bit more in there. The carrots are going to give us flavor and color. So for a cheese sauce, you're really definitely going to want to have that color, and you're going to get that color out of your carrots. So we're going to end up with 1.5 cups of hard product here, carrots and potatoes. Get a couple more in there. And we're going to add those straight into our pot, and then we're going to get the same amount of water. So as much solid ingredient as you put in, that is exactly as much water as you're going to put in as well. So we're going to go ahead and put in 1.5 cups of water. And then we're going to boil this. We're going to bring it up to a boil. And once it comes up to a boil, we're going to turn it down. It's going to take about 10 minutes, maybe 12 minutes for these to get soft. We want them to get so soft that you could put a knife through it. The knife will just go straight through without any resistance. But you don't want it so soft that it has actually become mashed potatoes in here. So just about 10 minutes, 12 minutes. When that's done, we're going to come back and make the sauce. So our potatoes and carrots have cooked. 1.5 of potatoes and the half of the carrots. So 2 cups for solid, 2 cups liquid. We're going to go ahead and put that in here just to get that out of the pot. We want to do this while it's warm. You don't want this to cool down because you want that heat to help you as you're blending. So for this proportion of 2 cups liquid, 2 cups solid, you're going to take brewer's yeast here. And this is where you get that real flavor from, a little bit of umami flavor that you're getting out of this. And you're going to put 6 tablespoons of this right into the blender. 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't be afraid. This stuff is actually going to give you a ton of flavor. For this amount, you're going to use about 1 teaspoon of salt. Again, you can adjust this as you like. You want a little saltier. You don't. Then into this, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of oil. Now, normally I use olive oil a lot. In this recipe, do not use olive oil. If you use olive oil instead of regular oil in this recipe, the flavor of the olive oil is absolutely going to overcome the dish. It's not going to be the same. So 2 tablespoons of oil, and then the tang that we get in this dish is the lemon. So 2 tablespoons, same amount as the oil, 2 tablespoons of lemon inside this dish. Now, normally this is where most people who are making golden sauce, they stop. But what I want to do is I want to add just a little bit more color. Now, for that, we're going to put in turmeric. Be very careful. Turmeric actually has a strong flavor on its own. You're going to put in just a touch of turmeric, just enough for color. If you would put in half a teaspoon of this, it would not only make it yellow, completely yellow, but it would also overshadow the dish. So we don't want to do that. We're literally going to put in just a couple flakes, just enough to get us some color here. This is it. This is our base. We're going to go ahead and close this up, and we're going to blend it. So everything in here is already pretty soft, but give it a second, and we're going to start here. I'm going to put it on a little lower first. There we go. Now, if you notice here, just before I finish up, it's got the right consistency. You make it too runny, you won't be able to use it the same day. You're gonna have to wait and use it the next day. So you want that good consistency. You need a little bit of runniness, but you still want it to have body. Now, at this point, you're almost done. There's one more thing that you can do, and we'll do that in a moment. So when I said base sauce, the sauce itself is really good. We're going to try it in a minute here. But before I do that, I want to explain that once you've got this down, you've got your basic cheese flavored sauce. It's tangy, it's rich, it's really creamy, but you don't have to stop there. You can actually change this up, make it your own. Think about the flavors that you really like. I'm going to give you some examples. You roast some garlic in the oven. When you're done this process, finish it up. Make sure that it's creamy, that it's got the consistency that you want. Then take that roasted garlic and add it in. That's what I did here. Here you've got a roasted garlic sauce. Really, really rich, creamy flavor with the garlic. Another option, if you like chipotle peppers, then take a chipotle pepper that's been canned and take that and put it in as well. Now, for the amount that we made, so for example, in this amount of cheese sauce, you're not even going to want to use a third of a chipotle pepper because it's going to be really strong and you still want to taste cheese. You don't want to just taste chipotle. So experiment with the ratios that you're going to use. You can also use sriracha sauce, which is what I used in this one over here. And if you're looking for a very unique flavor, because of the lemon that's in here, if you actually use a little bit of red miso and make it in this, you dilute it a little bit and add it to the cheese sauce, you'll get a very, very sharp flavor that really brings out the lemon tartness that you get in this dish. But what are we going to do with cheese sauce? I mean, there's all kinds of different things that we can do with it. I'm going to give you a couple options. The most obvious option with the cheese sauce, of course, is to pick one of these. I'm going to take the sriracha because I really like that, and just use it as a chip dip. You're still getting all the flavors that you get from the cheese sauce. Ooh, and it's super spicy. So I might have put in a little bit too much chipotle in that one. So as a simple cheese sauce and a dip. The sauce itself, though, is a cream sauce. So if you want your veggies, classic veggies, broccoli covered in cheese. So instead of that, you take out that unhealthy element of cheese and you add in this cheese sauce, you put it right on top. You've got the look, you've got the appeal of the cheese sauce, and, wow, so good. And you've got that dish that you can actually give to your kids where they're gonna actually wanna eat their veggies. So you've got your veggies, use it as a sauce for your veggies. Another option, potatoes. Potatoes, make them however you want. Here I've got some potatoes that have been roasted in herbs, and here we've got some sweet potatoes. You take this. For potatoes, I generally don't use any of the spiced cheese sauces. I just use the regular golden sauce in this one because I find that it works the best with potatoes. Perfect dish for us to use. So besides these, One of the best ways to use this, mac and cheese. It has the same consistency, same flavors that your kids are really gonna like, and you're gonna actually fill them up with some really good veggies that they need, and they're gonna be getting mac and cheese. Join us next time on the cutting board and get more really great plant-based recipes.